Try this again. Good evening, everybody.
Hello.
It says they're building an audience for us, so thank you, Facebook,
for building an audience.
building an audience. We wanted to just share something with you, because we are who we are, and we are pretty open and candid about a lot of our journey, because we believe that that's what's important. We want to talk to you about this topic. If you joining us, you see the title, Staying Connected During Difficult Seasons. And we don't want to be long, but we just want to give you, there's several ways to do that. But we want to just talk about four that that we're doing, that we're actually doing right now. We are going through, I don't know how you would categorize this, but for me, I feel like this is probably one of the most,
probably the worst season of our married lives. Yep.
Probably the most difficult scenario that we have encountered to date.
Yeah.
We are living through. So we want to talk to you about how to, how to deal with that. I mean, there's no two ways to say that. We just want to share some things that we are doing, because it is important that you stay connected during those times, because those times will come.
Yeah.
As if you continue to live, those times will come, whether it be something between the two of you, or whether it be something in immediate family, or whether it be something with extended family. Something will come up that will cause you to put some of these things into play.
Yeah.
So very quickly, we're just going to share some things that we are doing during this time. That is working for us. So we're going to share four things, all right?
Yep.
So we're just going to get into it. The first thing, obviously, because we're people of faith, the first thing is that we suggest you pray together. And this, what I'm going to say, will tie in with the fourth thing, but you want to make sure that you're presenting a united front against the enemy, because typically, whatever those seasons are, God orchestrates everything, and He is sovereign, and He knows what's going to happen. But there are times where the enemy wants to put things in your path that will throw you off course, and things that will potentially put your marriage in jeopardy. So the first thing that we suggest is that you pray. I should have done the other live way so I could put it up on the screen for you. But if you're writing, write this down. First one is pray, and that's pretty self-explanatory. You're asking for guidance, and you're asking for the Holy Spirit to be with you throughout the period of time, and to give you peace and give you direction, and keep us together and not at each other's throats. And you pray for the specific things that you need to get you through that. Anything you want to add to that?
No, I don't think so. Just pray together, and also pray over your spouse. Like, you pray together, but also pray over your spouse. Like, there are several times that I know that he's praying for me. It may not be audibly to me, and there are several times that I'm praying for him as well. He may not hear it, but definitely pray together, but definitely also pray over your spouse, whether they can hear you or not. Just continue praying, because they may be fighting an internal battle that they have not, are not able to articulate to you. And so pray over your spouse as well as pray with them.
That's good. That's good. So that's one.
That was number one, yeah.
Again, these are This is personal. We need you to understand that. This is personal. We're sharing with you, but this is personal because we're in it right now.
Literally.
So it's personal. So number one, pray. Number two, communicate. And yes, that's a broad term. What do we need to communicate? You want to talk about some of the stuff we need to communicate?
So people handle stresses and, challenging seasons in different ways. So I need to communicate to Ali what I need, or not necessarily what I need, definitely what I need, but that's not all that needs to be communicated. I also need to communicate how I'm feeling. What is it making me feel? Like I told him the other day that, man, I really feel like this hit us out of nowhere. I feel like this is humbling us. I didn't realize that I felt the way that I did about this specific situation, and I feel like the Lord is telling me that anything can happen to anyone, and it was a humbling experience for me. I communicated that to him. And when I told him, he said, yep, I understand. I feel the same way. So, you got to communicate how you're feeling and what it's making you feel like, and what you feel like doing, what you don't feel like doing. You have to communicate those things to your spouse. You have to be able to be vulnerable.
Yeah, you got to. Often we tend to turn inside.
Yeah.
That's human nature.
Yeah.
Close up and just deal with it however you feel like, you should deal with it without including the other person. Mm-hmm. So you want to be careful not to, and you may need time. That's fine. Number three, we're going to talk about that. You may need time, and you may need, some space to process and, that kind of thing. And that's fine. Mm-hmm. You can't stay there, though.
Yeah.
You can't stay in that space. You're going to have to, at some point, include your spouse. You're going to have to have some type of dialogue.
Right.
You're going to have to say some things, and you're going to have to, because that's going to help you.
Yeah.
That's going to help your spouse, because it's going to help your spouse understand where they are.
Right.
Where you are.
Where you are.
And it's going to help you be able to process some things, because you don't want to put that internally, especially if it's a serious thing. Mm-hmm. Like for us, this is a serious thing.
Yeah. And
so I can't just be recluse.
Yeah.
So there's some things that we have to say. So first thing, pray. Second thing, communicate. Third thing, and this kind of ties in with communication, but you need to know what your spouse needs. Mm-hmm. Specifically as it relates to the difficult season.
Yeah.
There are certain things that Nisi knows that help me during this time. There's some things that I know that help her during this time. It is our responsibility to make sure that those needs are met. Mm-hmm. Now, that takes us back before the season begins. You're going to have to know these things. So you're going to have a conversation at some point while things are great to say, hey, and we've talked to you guys about this before. What are your most important emotional needs?
Yeah.
And once you know what those most important emotional needs are, you are working feverishly to meet those needs on a consistent basis.
Yeah.
At times, one of those needs, it's possible that one of those needs is a specific need that has to be met during the difficult season. So you want to make sure that you are meeting those needs. You don't want to be recluse, because if you're to yourself, then it kind of becomes about you and how I'm going to handle it on my own. This way it becomes about service. And so you're kind of giving of yourself, and there's some healing mechanism to that. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely. Yeah. There's a lot of things that I need when stressors come in. Like sometimes I need to just think things over. I need a minute or an hour. I just need to sit back and just be like, I will talk to you about it, but for now, I just need to process. I just need to pray by myself. I just need to process it in my mind and gather to myself how I'm feeling so that I can present it to you in the right way.
Yeah, that's important.
That's
So,
that's one of the things that I need,
that you need.
for these kinds of seasons that we are in right now.
Right. So that's important. For those of you just joining, you saw the title. We're talking about staying connected during difficult seasons. We're very candid and transparent with the fact that we are in the middle of what we feel like may possibly be the hardest thing that we've had to handle to date. Tomorrow will be 16 years that we've been married. And in those 16 years,
Hey, Lewis.
Pretty Lou, what's good, man? Thanks for joining. I appreciate it. I saw Tracy too. Tracy, thanks for joining.
Hi, Tracy.
Yeah, in the 16 years, this is probably undoubtedly the
toughest
most
challenge.
difficult season. We've been, we have financial stuff going on. We have other stuff going on, but this tops that. And so we just want to share candidly some things that we think are important to do once you are in this kind of season, to stay connected, because it's important that we stay connected. We're still a couple, and we have to maintain the relationship that we have started to develop. So how do we do that? We are at number 3, correct? So number 1 was pray, and definitely watch the replay. Number 1 was pray. Number 2 is communicate. Number 3 is to know, identify, and meet the specific needs that need to be met during that difficult season. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you. And number 4 is you got to remember that you're a team. You got to remember that you're a team. Now, let me just preface this, because somebody talked to us, and I don't see him on, but Pierre sent us a message just asking something about establishing that connection before you get into this season. And that is very important. All of these things, there's many things that you can do, but these 4 things that we're sharing with you, these things are things that you have to put into practice while things are great.
Right.
So we're talking about 1, praying; 2, communicating; 3, identifying and meeting the specific needs for that time period; and 4, remembering that you're a team. Those are things that you need to establish while times are good, so that when you get into seasons like what's going on, you can incorporate that. It's like practicing for the big game. So those of you who are involved in sports or have been involved in sports before, you're not just going to pick 5 guys and go up against any team, the Knicks, the Lakers, the Celtics, whatever. You're going to practice. We want you to practice communicating. We want you to practice praying with each other. We want you to practice identifying and meeting the needs of your spouse, and practice being a team. It is us against the scenario. It is never, the scenario cannot get between us to the point where, where it becomes me against her. I'm dealing with it my way, you deal with it your way. Now we're at odds with each other over an outside situation. You don't want to do that. So again, I'm going to go through them very quickly. 1, you want to pray together. Pray for the specific needs that you have, for strength, for guidance, for stability between you and your spouse. You want to communicate. You want to communicate how you're feeling. You want to be honest about how it's making you feel. You want to be honest about your wishes. You want to be honest about your hopes about this and your fears. You want to be open, and you want to have a conversation. You want to converse, not argue, but converse and talk about what's going on with you internally. And then you want to, hopefully you have done this already. You have already identified the needs that your spouse has. Typically, one of those most important emotional needs is something that they will need during this time period. So you want to identify those needs and make sure that you are meeting that need. You don't want to be recluse. It's not all about you. Yes, you may need some time to process, like Nisi said. You take that time, and then you be about the business of service. And then you want to remember that you are a team. This is a team effort. This is not you against your spouse. This is the two of you locking arm in arm, saying, hey, you know what? No matter how I feel, no matter what's going on, no matter how things are presented to us, we're going to go about this together.
Yeah.
All right. So we just wanted to share that with you very quickly. We didn't want to be on too long. Often we're always talking about the good stuff, right? We always talk about the good stuff, and that's fine. Good stuff is great. You want to be happy. You want to live happily ever after. Beautiful. I love it. However, if you live long enough, there are going to be times where you go through some things that almost kind of bring you to your knees, bring you to your knees. Because number 2 is pray, right? Or number 1 is pray.
Number 1 is pray.
So when you're going through those situations and scenarios, it is important that you stay connected. There are a lot of things, man. We know of people personally that go through difficult seasons, and they come out on the other side of that season not together.
Yeah.
And so it is important that you stay connected. This could easily put us at odds with each other.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We could be at each other every day.
Yeah.
I guarantee you.
For sure.
If we outlined what was happening, you could understand that how we could be at each other's throats.
Yeah.
It could happen, but we can't let that happen.
Yeah.
We're a team. We can't let that happen.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lewis. I appreciate that, man. And it's real. It can't get any more practical than this, Lou, because we're kind of speaking out of the essence of what is right now.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of times we'll come to you and we'll give you 5 tips for this and 4 tips for that. And it's not necessarily stuff that we're going through. It's just stuff that we feel like is important for you to know. This is real for us right now. And so we just wanted to share that with you. Just to recap, number 1, pray. Number 2, communicate. Number 3, identify and meet the needs of your spouse. And number 4, remember that you're a team.
Yeah.
All right. So we want to leave that with you guys. We love you guys. Thank you so much for taking the time to join. Those of you who are looking at it on the replay, we thank you for taking the time to share, to watch. And we ask that you would share this. You would be surprised. There are so many people. We hear of individuals all the time that are going through things and you would never know.
Yeah.
We see them in the store, or we see them at church, or we see them wherever, in the mall, and everything, hi, how you doing? Oh, it's fine. Weather's great, la, da, 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 da. You don't know that they're in probably one of the most difficult seasons that they have ever experienced.
Yeah.
And so share this with individuals, even if you don't think that they're in a difficult season, that, you never know. You just don't know what's going on with individuals. You don't know who this is going to touch. Or
they may know someone that they can pass it on to.
So we just want to leave that with you. Once again, just quick recap. It's kind of like class. We're going to reiterate for effect. 4 ways that we feel you need to incorporate to stay connected during a difficult season. Number 1, pray. Number 2, communicate. Number 3, identify and meet needs. And number 4, remember that you're a team. All right. Listen, guys, we're going to go. We appreciate you. Thank you for joining. Stay tuned for more things coming from Marriage is Our Ministry. If you have not checked out the site is new. Check it out. A couple new articles to read as well. If you have not joined the mailing list, go to the site, join the mailing list. We are giving away a Weekend to Remember registration. So sign up to get the Weekend to Remember registration. We are giving one away. We will send some couple to Weekend to Remember on us.
Of your choice.
Of your choice. So you go to the Weekend to Remember site, you look and see what city you want to go to. We are giving one away to someone on the mailing list. All right, so listen, thanks for the love and for the likes. Thank you so much. And we're going to get out of here. Seasons come and seasons go. So remember that, right?
That's right.
We're going to those of us who live in places where we get seasons. We are coming out of summer.
Thank God.
and we're heading into fall. So just remember, seasons come, seasons go. You need to stay connected throughout all of them. All right?
Amen.
We love you guys. All right? So God bless. Peace.
Bye.